Hello, fams. Welcome to everyone. Hope everyone's doing great. Welcome back to another video in the series of Organic Chemistry Fundamental Concepts, in which we're going to talk about homologous series. So in part 2, I've ended with the definition of a homologous series, and I've also taught you type of formulae, the molecular, the displayed, and the structural formula. If this is your first time landing onto my page or listening into my lesson, I would definitely suggest you to go back and watch part 1 and part 2. Now, as I said, in today's lesson, we will look at one of the most important ideas in organic chemistry, the homologous series, and specifically, I'm going to talk about alkanes. And if you've just landed onto the video, let me start by explaining what is organic chemistry. It's basically the chemistry of carbon compounds. Compounds made up of carbon, and sometimes its best friends, like oxygen, hydrogen. Most of the fuels and plastics and living things are built by using these organic compounds. So the most simplest molecule we know is methane, which is CH4. So we have a displayed formula here, which has 4 covalent bonds where carbon is bonded to 4 different hydrogens. Now, what is a homologous series? What do we mean by it? What it just means is it's a family or a group of compounds that all follow a similar pattern. Now, think of it like a family of brothers and sisters. They all look similar, but one of the siblings might be slightly taller than the previous. Similarly, all the compounds in a homologous series differ by a CH2 group. Now you might be wondering, fams, what it means. So, once again, a homologous series is a family of organic compounds with the same general formula. Now, I will explain you what is general formula, but hear me out. So, homologous series, compounds with same general formula, same, rather similar chemical properties. And also, their physical properties are also almost the same, but as the carbon chain length increases, there's a gradual change in physical properties. Now, let's discuss about alkanes. What are alkanes? Now, one word I'm going to tell you about alkanes is they all have single bonds. So if you draw a displayed formula of any alkane, all you see are going to be single covalent bonds within the element. Now, a general formula of any alkane is CNₙ plus 2. For example, the first alkane with a single carbon is methane. So methane's formula, I'm going to write molecular formula, is CH4. So 1 carbon, and as you can see, in the last video I explained you N stands for number of carbons. So C1, H, 2 times 1 plus 2. So therefore that's CH4. Now let's go for ethane. The molecular formula of ethane is going to be C2. Now N is 2, so therefore it is going to be H6. For example, if I substitute that for you, 2 times 2 plus 2, that is going to be C2H6. So at this point, if you want to practice, you can practice the general formula for propane and butane. Now, often in exams, a question is asked, the difference between 2 successive members of a homologous series. Every member of a homologous series within alkanes differs by 1 carbon and 2 hydrogens. As you can see the difference between methane and ethane, there is 1 extra carbon and 2 extra hydrogens. That is the difference of CH2. Now, when naming organic compounds, it is very important to learn the very basic that the naming of carbon compounds or organic compounds is all dependent on the number of carbons in that compound. So therefore, now let's look at some basic rules for this. Chemists all over the world use some prefixes. These are the words which come from Greek or Latin roots for the number of carbon atoms. So meth is 1 carbon, et is 2 carbon, prop is 3 carbon, but is 4 carbon, pent is 5 carbon, 6 carbon is hex. Now, these prefixes are used all through organic chemistry, not just for alkanes. There are other homologous series such as alkenes, alcohols, carboxylic acids, and so on. And as and when we progress in organic chemistry in the future videos, you will be able to go ahead and learn deeper about these concepts. But please do make sure that you're learning. If you're a GCSE student, year 10 or 11, please memorize. It's very important that you memorize these at this point. Now, as we were talking about alkanes, these are the simplest hydrocarbons. The most simplest hydrocarbons are alkanes. Remember, I'm using the word hydrocarbons, which means compounds of carbons and hydrogens. Now, there is another name given to alkanes called as saturated hydrocarbons. I'm just using the short form, lazy tutor doctor as I am, so I'm calling hydrocarbons as HC. What does it mean by saturated? They contain only single bonds between carbon atoms. Saturated meaning every carbon is joined by single covalent bonds. So we do have double and triple bonds in organic chemistry, but alkanes are only single covalent bonds. So each carbon makes 4 bonds and hydrogens are filling in the gaps. So that's it for in this video, and next video I am going to talk about alkenes. Till then, bye bye.